Yeah, an acronym, the V for? Volatility. No, that's perfect. It's perfect. The second one, the U. Uncertainty. Yeah, U on the periodic table. Quite correct. The C. Carbon and complexity. Good. And the A. We'll start with the scientists this time. It seems they're sitting on this side. Is there an A element? No. What? Ambiguity. That's what the politician leg says on this side. So these are the kind of challenges that we face today, VUCA challenges, and we need all the intellectual capital from all the different disciplines to actually work on these issues. So just bring it a bit closer to mining specifically. This was a report done by a company called VCI, where they looked at the innovation state of play, and they asked executive what are the kind of trends that will have the biggest impact on mining in the next 10 to 15 years. And there's a nice comparison here between South Africa and the rest of the world. So the bluish ones is the rest of the world, and the yellow ones are the South African ones. And if you just look at those first two ones that I've highlighted with a red circle around it, the first one is about technical change and disruption. And there you can see that the rest of the world says this is going to be a major macro trend. And then the second one, which talks about the technically aware new generation. I'm so happy to see young people here today. No, us oud toppies have our role to play, but we need the younger. That's the attitude to have. So for South African purposes, it's the young people and the technical awareness that we say is going to have a big impact on mining into the future. Many of the young people just don't want to work in an environment that may be regarded as dirty, dangerous, and diseased. But the good news is that that is not the future of mining. I was just telling Jansi earlier that there's a mine, Kumba iron ore mine, that I recently visited in the Northern Cape. And they took us into the control room, and there were 4 rock drill operators sitting in an air-conditioned office or control room, computer screens in front of them. It's automated drilling, so there are drills in the pit. There's only one person who's still in the pit, and just make sure that things are going well. And of those 4 people who were drilling there, 3 of them were female. Now that's not to say that us males cannot do the job, but it is wonderful to see that we now have the opportunity to get males and females to do the future of mining. But in our South African context, it's the people trends that matter the most, and where we have to bring the technology and the people together and find these solutions to societal problems. The digitalisation, this is the sexy stuff of the modern age. This is just an image that one of the consulting firms, Deloitte, put together. And you can see the very, very exciting things, the digital capturing of geological information. You see autonomous equipment, driverless big trucks. Recently there was one of these trucks that had an accident because the Wi-Fi cut out. That's the new risk. But having said that, that truck did 2.4 million kilometers without a single accident. So I think it can be forgiven, for something beyond its control, the Wi-Fi cutting out. it can be forgiven for that accident after 2.4 million. Fortunately, nobody got injured, nobody got killed. So those Internet of Things sensors, the wearables that is going to become increasingly part of us. You see there the drones. In the past, people at that Kumba iron ore mine, they had to go out in temperatures of 40 degrees in summer. They had to go out in temperatures of what felt like minus 40 degrees Celsius in winter to go and do the surveying and to look at what is happening. Now they can sit in a place and that is warm and protected, and they just fly the drone. And the drone will do the surveying for them, and they can do the added value, the analytics, and all of that they can do. So these are some of the exciting things in integrated remote operations. There are mines now in Australia where the rock drill operators or the operators of the mine are sitting in Perth, and the mine is 1,000 kilometers away from Perth. And they're operating in remote integrated operations. So this is the future of mining. You see the same with the digital. It talks there about a digital mine nerve center from which everything will actually be controlled. And all of that will be in safe, healthy conditions for those who actually work there. So this gives you the image of the future, where a lot of the image that we currently have is of dirty, dangerous and diseased, dark tunnels. So these are the kind of new frontiers of mining that people are looking at. The first one is what is called in the EU, it's called the circular economy, where you don't actually do the mining out of the ground anymore, you do the mining out of the cell phone. And this is going to become the new challenge, where you say, the challenge at the moment is how do you mine at 5 grams per ton of soil? And the challenge of the future is there's 7 grams of gold in the cell phone. And how do you actually going to recover that 7 grand from a throwaway mobile phone? The rise of the rare earths, I've already spoken about the rare earths. This is the kind of growth that you're seeing in rare earth. Global consumption expected to increase by 5% per annum. Would we not love as a country if we can grow at 5% per annum? Would any business not love if they can grow at 5% per annum? Would government not love it if the employment were to reduce at 5% per annum or faster? Then the deep impact. So some of you may be interested in deep sea diving. In 2011, the first deep subsea mining lease was granted in Canada, 2011, 1,600 meters under the earth. And then there's some of you who would love to go up into the sky. Well, you can go and meet ET. And just very encouraging to see that if you look at just our asteroidal supply, so now we're not even talking going mine on Neptunus, just in the asteroids, the supplies in minerals that are there could last us for 400 million years. All our needs on Earth. So there are people who are thinking about space, and I know many in this country, but there are people who are thinking about space mining at the moment. That's one of the frontiers that we're looking at. Then I just want to talk a bit about the Minerals Council, the mining cluster, and what we are doing currently to find solutions to many of these challenges, and we're doing that together with many of the other stakeholders. I want to hesitate to guess that 3 years ago, I would not be standing here presenting, because mining was not strongly represented on the national system of innovation. Yes, space was, advanced manufacturing, all these sexy new industries. But mining was not there. And it's very encouraging to say that today we've got research, development, and innovation is back in our Minerals Council strategic plan. It's one of our, when it was changed from Chamber of Mines to Minerals Council, it was one of the things that we said we're going to become part of the future and not a victim of this future. In the white paper of Science, Technology and Innovation, there are multiple references to mining. Mr. Luzibu, thank you very much for your role in that. I'm sure that the mining portfolio committee has been very supportive, and the fact that Mr. Luzibu is here today is just testimony to that. So that white paper emphasizes the modernization of mining and the importance of that, as well as agriculture. In the 1996 white paper on science and technology, there was no reference to mining. I did a search, and it only came with the word, in the word determining. And it was maybe indicative of the thoughts about mining at that point in time. But we're very pleased that today it is back on the agendas. I know there's people here from the CSIR, the people from the University of Pretoria. I don't know if there's anybody from WITS here. All these institutions are rethinking and reimagining and recreating their role into mining and the future of mining. And the Mining Charter and the most recently signed compact, the compact on growth and competitiveness that the various stakeholders have signed, all have included research, development, and innovation are part of all those documents. So as the Minerals Council, we've decided that from a policy point of view, we're going to adopt a people-centered approach to modernization. Because we find that too many people think about modernization through a technology lens only. And in our context, we cannot afford that. We cannot have thousands of people losing their jobs due to the modernization. So we have to find ways in which we can modernize in a way that recognize that although we may be in the mining industry, we're actually in the people industry. And that people are at the heart of our industry, and we need to make sure they're going to be safe, they're going to be healthy, they're going to get new skills, they're going to feel fulfilled in what they're doing. And then protecting the environment, of course, is another important one for us as humankind, contributing to the development of our local and labor-sending communities, and recognizing that minerals are very important and valuable to the future. And if we get it all right, we can progress the transformation agenda and the growth agenda together for the better of this nation. So this is the framework that we use as we think through this. And we see that the modernization of mining is an opportunity to actually marry the objectives of mining with the objectives that are set out in the National Development Plan. So in mining, we would love to have zero harm to the people and to the environment. We would love to have investment in the mining industry for more and for longer. And we also want jobs to be retained, because we know it is not in the best interest of the country as well as the cluster to have many, many job losses. And the national objectives are to increase growth, increase employment, increase exports, and also increase the government revenue. Government also looks for the better use of its mineral resources, that there's better value to the rest of the society as well. And then they're also looking for portable skills. And at the bottom you see some of the enablers of these issues. So for this audience, I think particularly important is research and development. Without research and development, we will not be able to take this industry forward, and we will not be able to let it play its correct role in the future of South Africa and the fourth industrial revolution. We need to make sure that our industry is able to take the research and development and turn it into innovative new products, services, and also markets. And then from a sustainability point of view, we need to look at these new skills that will be relevant to the future, not only from mining, but also all the downstream uses and application of mining products. And then a special one for government is that mining is a long-term game, and therefore we need to have legislative certainty if we want to see investments in Steenkampskraal mine and in Gamsberg and many of these other mines. Just in terms of our own plans and programs, and I'm not going to go into this in detail, but just to see the kind of things that we're looking at. So the one issue is the leadership, to make sure that amongst all the stakeholders and at all levels there's an understanding of the importance of mining for today, but also in the fourth industrial revolution. So that is one of our work streams. The second one is about the acceleration of the mining cluster. Mining is lagging other sectors. It's lagging automotive, it's lagging manufacturing, it is lagging so many other sectors when it comes to being modernized. And we've got to accelerate this, otherwise we're just going to become irrelevant as a mining nation. And then in parallel with those two, we're looking at modernization processes and tools, things that we can actually do that will make a difference in society. And I'm pleased to say that one of our things is that we said that we need to try and use this year of the periodic table, use that as a tool to communicate to various audiences like yourself, school children, and other people who have to learn about the periodic table, but not excited by just a one-sheet page. They want to see what difference does it make in their lives. And then we have the Mandela Mining Precinct, which we are a very proud partner of. This is last year, the Ministers of Mineral Resources and the Ministers of Science and Technology actually opening the Mandela Mining Precinct as a public-private partnership. So any of you who have not been aware of this, who haven't visited it, you can look on the website. It is with great humility that we take the responsibility that this is being called the Mandela Mining Precinct with the permission of the Mandela Foundation. It's a huge responsibility to carry that name. And this is the program that they're currently working on. It's the South African Mining Extraction Research and Development Initiative or Innovation Strategy. And you can see the objectives here very much about increasing the life of the current mining, accessing ore bodies that will not be accessed or commercially accessed with current methods, and then going to greater depth. We are the global leaders. We've got the deepest mines in the world at 4 kilometers. But we want to go to 5. There's more gold underground still than has been mined since 1887. So there's huge opportunities there, but to send people there from a health and safety point of view will be very, very difficult. But if we can get Sophia to go down there, somebody still has to build Sophia, somebody still has to maintain Sophia, Somebody still have to replace the parts of Sophia. So those are all jobs that could be created through mechanization and also non-explosive mining, which is the ultimate holy grail that we're all looking for. And then we've got a couple of cross-cutting initiatives. The one is advanced ore body knowledge. It always perplexes me. We can see what is happening in space. Even on the dark side of the moon, we can see what is happening there, but we cannot see 30 meters through rock. And if we can see 30 meters through rock, I can guarantee you we will mine healthier, safer, and more competitively. So that's one of the things that people are working on, one of the interesting challenges. The whole digitalization, I've shown you those images, and then the people-centric approach, absolutely critical to the future of mining. So that's just giving you a bit of a flavor. I'm happy to, during the questions, take more comments or questions on that. I just now want to come to the question, so is it possible to have the fourth industrial revolution without mining? And to answer that question, I want to start with, is it possible today for us to live without mining? And this is a very nice infographic that our partners from Russell and Associates have made for us. Just to say, when you think about flying to exotic places, or you look at building bridges between faraway communities, or you're working on your laptop, or you're socializing over a can of cold drink or a can of beer, you cannot do that. None of those without mining. If you want to be the first South African space tourist, we don't count Mark Shuttleworth because he doesn't live here anymore most of the time. If you're using public transport because you want to save the planet, or if you're just holding hands on a park bench, you cannot do that without mining. So life without mining is inconceivable to us today. So when we come to the fourth industrial revolution and you look at this, what is an image of a modern futuristic house with solar panels and water filtration and cell phones and computer monitors and power cells, none of this will be possible without mining. So I guess I'll soon find out how friendly or hostile this audience is to mining. But we go to many audiences, and more often than not, they're quite hostile. And the message to everybody out there, including to you, so there's always this saying, if you can't beat us, join us. I don't want to put it that way. I would say rather don't beat us, rather join us in what is going to be a very exciting journey of modernizing the mining industry to make its contribution to the fourth industrial revolution. And I started with Sophia, and I want to end with her quote, which she said, "I'm just a robot trying to help humans making this world a better place." And that's what we want to do with mining for the fourth industrial revolution. Thank you very much.